So Jessica always kind of referred to herself as the black sheep of the family, but her personality and her demeanor is very rebellious, but she always had a heart of gold.
For Jessica, because she's had so much lived experience, I'm not sure if she's ever really felt home, but she does a really good job at calming someone down or talking them through the emotions that they're going through or giving them guidance.
I think that when you've been through horrible things and you have dug yourself out of those holes and found the light, you can't help but want to share that with people. You don't want to keep it to yourself.
She doesn't like to leave anyone that needs anything out. She will make room for everybody.
My mom drank a lot. There was a lot of malnutrition. If I swore, I got soap in my mouth. I got a lot of spankings. So my mother, I have a lot of limits and boundaries, just with broken promises and past abuse that I didn't know at that time that that was not okay. I just thought it was, I don't know, normal, or this is supposed to happen. I sold my dad's DJ equipment for drugs. I owed a lot of money, so he came home one day and I already had my bags packed and he was like, get the fuck out of my house. Court order, I couldn't live with my mom. If CAS found out that I was on the streets because I was under 16, so I couldn't even go to a shelter. One time back then when Salvation Army didn't lock their bins, I would sleep in the nice comfy clothes and sleeping in friends' closets when parents didn't even know. The first time I got arrested, I was 15. I blew up 4 telephone booths. I set them on fire. The police came knocking at my door, and I guess somebody had called Crime Stoppers, and they arrested me. So I was actually molested 4 times, and then I was raped once. And so a lot of my behaviors came upon after that, like just not talking, setting fires, lying, wanting to run away, nobody understanding me.
I didn't know that she went through all that as a child. And I felt like helpless. If I knew, I would have done anything to get her out of there.
I can never take those images out of my head. There's years and years of therapy. It is a continuous journey of dealing with those struggles, turning around those bad days, mental health or not, or trauma or not. It's how are we going to do that, being our own rock.
Honestly, until Tree of Stars, when she overcame her fear and opened up this box, I don't think anyone had any idea what she had been coping with. And it's amazing that she just randomly came across that tree and boom, it was a euphoric moment.
I took this picture, I was walking on the mountain brow. I saw this beautiful blue sky, and then I noticed after I took the picture that it was a star. And I just kind of wrote it down one day. You go in for the first half hour just to feel comfort and decrease your anxiety a little bit. Ashley plays a little bit of music, and then I prompt 3 topics. I'll give example questions if requested. And then if anybody is open to bringing their own materials, if it's poetry, songs, anything like that, we're completely open. It's a safe space of non-judgment. I've had people say that it really, really helps them, even just a place to be and listen. So not necessarily sharing your name or who you are, is just to sit in the cafe and somewhere to go.
They said that if you're a dreamer or a healer, or a feeler, or a lover mixed with runner, or a poet, you should be here. Until they didn't understand, and they tried to silence us for saying what everybody else was thinking, but I will not go away, because you see, they told me that rock bottom was the beginning, but they failed to realize that sometimes rock bottom is the beginning of the end. You either hit the bottom and you climb out of the hole, or you hit the bottom and you're killed by the fall. I climbed back out with 2 broken arms because I was hell-bent on climbing backwards out of my hell and watching the moon light up the clouds, because some of us hit rock bottom and are buried there.
So the summer of 2017, I came to a journaling event because I said I would come. The more I had to bring to the table to Tree of Stars, the more my mental health improved. And as my mental health was improving, I was getting more involved. So the two were kind of hand in hand, and I would say that Tree of Stars has done just as much for me as I've done for them.
Tree of Stars as an outreach opportunity for people thrilled me, because this is not just about the people who come and journal and play music and reach out to her. This is as much of a healing journey for her as it is for them.
I've always been a really giving person, knowing that in my past, even just to be alive today, I find a blessing. Giving back and connecting with other individuals that, connect with my story and connect with other resources, and being that support system. I find when you give back and people see that you're just giving back just because, it makes me feel really good just because. I believe that being afraid of the dark, that is a long lifetime journey that I'll always work on, but there is always room for change. My partner that I'm with for the last year, her trying to say, like when I first got together with her, she was just like, it's really bright in your apartment, like it's bedtime. And just this last 6 months, I was able to sleep with a light off. It caused me to sweat and my heart to beat, but now when all the lights are off, I understand that it's actually not dark. So I feel like change allows us room to live. When I hear your story, it has that connection that we aren't alone. And I always like to say this, that my story isn't any different than anybody else's story. It should be, this is our story and we're telling it.
You look in the mirror, though you see someone else.
Everybody suffers from mental illness at one time or another in their life. You're stressed out about a situation or something happens to you or whatever, and we can and we do, we lose our minds. And it can become a very dark, horrid place. And oftentimes we feel like we're an island. Well, there's an old saying that no man is an island, and none of us are.
Though you just seem to fade, as everyone else shines, you're just ghosting behind